Boom, 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 boom. What's up, everybody? I want to welcome everyone to the FNS Sports Podcast. Yeah. I am your co-host, Chef Yaku, and I'm sitting across from the greatest co-host, the greatest son, the air angel. What is going on, everybody out there in YouTube land? Let me tell you, it feels good to be back. Thank you. Let's get some love for this. It's it's been a while, pops. We kind of been gone. We've been dealing with some audio issues, getting them straightened out, getting them fixed, and I feel like we're doing good. We're going great right now, so I'm happy about that. Just going in, just doing a check in. How you doing? How's life, man?
I'm very good. I'm starting my application to Reardon,
Okay.
and I gotta make the video, then I get to move on.
Okay, let's before we get into sports, let's talk about that a little bit. So you're doing an application. You're in eighth grade now, and you're doing your applications to go into high school. So how's that feel? How's that going?
It makes me feel a lot more. It makes me feel a lot more older.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me feel like I'm about to get a lot more responsibilities with going into high school, and I'm very excited. I'm very excited to take on the new challenges of going into high school. I'm very excited to take on the new things that I get to experience in high school that I didn't get to experience when I was in the other grades.
That's
So I'm
what's
very
up.
excited.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Let me tell you, as your father, it's awesome to see you growing up and maturing and becoming this young man. I remember, I mean, it was just like yesterday. You were just a little kid, and now we're sitting here. A story that you always tell is, remember when you thought you was playing Madden,
Oh
and
my
and I
god.
just gave you the controller. You were just playing with a controller that wasn't even doing nothing. You thought you had scored a
I
touchdown.
thought I was going to touch. I was so happy. That was like one of the best moments.
I mean, it seems like yesterday, and then now look, we're sitting here, and you're talking about high school applications and things like that, and I think it's dope because we're still sitting here sharing our love for baseball, which is something that's undying, that's never going to go away. I
It's
mean,
never gonna go away.
even when you're changing my diapers, it'll be at some ballpark somewhere where we'll be watching some good baseball. So I love that. I'm happy that everything's going well for you. I know this world, it could be crazy for a young man, but I'm glad you're navigating it the way you are, and it leads us here to talk about sports. So let's give a round of applause for that. Shout out to this young man.
How are you doing?
Dude, I'm awesome, man. I'm awesome. I'm sitting here shooting a podcast with my son. That's what my life is right now. So I can't complain. A lot of good stuff going on in the sports world, but we are locked into this World Series right now, man. We got the World Series coming up. That's coming up Friday. So we got 2 more days before that kicks off. Super excited. I mean, I've been screaming it's our year all year, and I mean, but that's every year for me. You being a Padres fan, watching the Dodgers Yankees in the World Series. Talk to me. What's your emotions about this? How you feeling? Being that the Dodgers was the team that put you guys out, so I mean, ultimately, you could possibly see yourself getting ready for the World Series. So talk to me. How you feeling, man?
I'm going for all Yankees right now. Go
Okay.
Yankees. Boo Dodger Blue. It's boogers.
Right. Facts.
They're a
Facts.
bunch of booger eaters. We don't care about them. Go Yankees right now because I hate the Dodgers and I love it. I was born a Yankees fan. I just extended. I grew my branches.
Facts. Okay. I love it. I love it. So, I mean, without further ado, let's get into this World Series now. I think with this World Series, what makes it different from last year, right? Because we had the Texas Rangers, and they played against the Diamondbacks, the Arizona Diamondbacks. Now you looking; those are two considerably smaller market teams than we're looking at now. Teams that didn't necessarily have a history in the World Series as these two teams have. I mean, we're looking at Dodgers Yankee World Series. This will be the 12th time that these two teams have met in the World Series in the winner take all in the World Series.
Dang.
And it's kind of crazy when you think about that because I mean that's the most the most times two teams has ever faced off, and then the next is the Yankees and the Giants. So that's the next. That's one of the next big series. I think that's like 7 or 8 games. So we're not only going to be able to see the two best teams now, but ultimately it's the two best franchises in baseball. If you think about it,
Yeah.
those are the two blue bloods of baseball, if you want to go there and call it that.
Crazy history.
Yeah,
Crazy backstories.
crazy history, crazy backstory. I mean, you're talking about if you go down the list of names that play for both of these franchises, it'd be like a who's who in the Baseball Hall of Fame. And I mean, it's beautiful, and I think that's one of the things that brings the nostalgia of this series is. You got some new for the younger guys. I mean, you got Mookie Betts, Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, Shohei Ohtani. You got all these guys. Teoscar Hernandez. You got all these guys, right? But then you have the older generation of baseball fans who grew up and watched, who could have tuned into that 1981 World Series between the Yankees and the Dodgers. That was the last time they met in the World Series. So you have a little bit of something for everybody. Now, one of the things I noticed, you don't have social media yet, but I noticed that a lot of people are like, oh, yeah, payroll. This World Series just shows that you can buy yourself a World Series. And it kind of makes no sense because we normally typically have the highest payroll. And this is our first time being in the World Series um, since, 15 years ago. So
Yeah.
you can't use that excuse for buying a World Series.
It's just because their team isn't in it.
Yeah. And it's the hate that you got to deal with when you're on top. And um, I hope you deal with this one day. You know what I'm saying? With your Padres. I love your team. I love the way you got. So I hope one day you guys are able to deal with this hate and you'll see how to do it being, what I'm saying, a Yankee fan as well. So just going back to that 1981 World Series, it was the 78th World Series ever. The Dodgers won that series 4-2. Really, really memorable series. It was the third time that they have met in 5 years. So you're talking about in a span of 5 years, two teams going to the World Series 3 times and playing each other. That's kind of unheard of now. I mean, especially with free agency, baseball rules and things. I mean, you kind of see a change over in baseball the last couple of years. I mean that's evident to the teams that have won it. I mean, we haven't had repeat champs in a long time since those Yankee teams. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I think that's one of the dope things. You're looking at third time in 5 years. Like I said, the 1981 meeting, with this being the 12th, the 1981 meeting was the 11th time that these teams have met in the World Series. It was the Dodgers' first victory over the Yankees since the 1963 World Series, and it was the Dodgers' first title since 1965. So I mean, you're looking at the 60s, and it was predominantly Yankee. Yankee Dodger World Series. And I mean, could you imagine how electric that time would have been? I mean, you almost knew that it was going to come down to those two teams. So, I mean, over like a 5 year, spread of that. So, I mean, that'd be nice. I would love to see something like that because that's,
Oh yeah.
I mean, now we get to see like one dynasty. Like, I guess the closest dynasty that we have now, or I think it would be like maybe those older the Warriors teams, like a couple years ago, those Warrior teams, the Splash Brother teams was a dynasty. But I mean, in baseball, we haven't seen that. And then if you look at the 60s, I mean, it seems like we had two dynasties kind of just going at each other. We don't have that in sports, you know? If you have a dynasty, you typically have one. So that's crazy. Um, I, I did some digging on this 1981 World Series because I wasn't even born yet. I was still in my mom's stomach when this World Series came out. I was born 2 months after this World Series, so I had to do a little digging. But so many known names. Managers, the Dodgers manager was Tommy Lasorda. Let me tell you about Tommy Lasorda, right?
I already know a
You
little bit
you know a
about
little
Tommy
about Tommy
Lasorda.
Lasorda? Tommy Lasorda looked like somebody's great uncle who was just mean as hell to you, but he'd give you $5 anytime you asked for it. I think that's just something about him. He had this look. He always had these like synced eyes. I mean, but the guy was just so passionate. And I mean, even in my younger days, I knew it was something fiery about him. And seeing him, and then like, I mean, even up to his later days, I mean, he's always just been that fiery type of guy. And I mean, he led some great Dodger teams, man. So Shout out Tommy Lasorda, Hall of Famer. You got Bob Lemon, who was the manager for the New York Yankees. I'm going to read you some of these names from the lineup. The New York Yankees that was on this roster, on this World Series roster. And you tell me, as a 13-year-old boy, you tell me how exciting you would have been to be a kid in the stands, right? You got Reggie Jackson, Thurman Munson, Ron Guidry, Goose Gossage, Bucky Dent, Willie Randolph, Greg Nettles, Lou Piniella, and Dave Winfield for the Yankees. That's just the Yankees lineup now, right? That is the who's who of 1980s, 1970s baseball right there. I mean, Dave Winfield looking like a damn tight end. Like Dave Winfield was built like LeBron almost, dude. Big gigantic dude, jack shoulders. I mean, I remember his jersey used to look painted on sometimes. He would hold three bats and swing him, and it looked like he was holding a stick, dude. It was no joke. And then Reggie Jackson just, I mean, moonshot after moonshot. I mean, the guy was just in the running for MVPs. If he didn't win it, he was in the top five, top three every year. Mr. October.
I know who some of these dudes are, like Reggie Jackson. I know the name Thurman Munson.
Mm-hmm.
I know Ron Guidry.
Mm-hmm.
Goose Gossage. When I saw that name, I laughed a little bit because I know it's a nickname, but that's a hilarious Goose. I love that.
Some of the dope nicknames in
I know
baseball, man.
Goose,
Goose,
Bucky.
yeah. Like come here, Goose. But I mean, it's awesome. And then like going through that Dodgers team, like even names here that you know, like I'm talking Dusty Baker, Pedro Guerrero, Steve Garvey, Mike Scotia, Bobby Castillo, Steve Howe, Bob Welch. And then the one of our main topics of tonight is I'm talking El Toro, the bull, Fernando Venezuela. Let's for for one, we're going to give a round of applause for the life, for the career, and for the person who Fernando Venezuela was. Um, for all anybody that didn't know him, like I heard his name before, and I'm gonna be real. I knew he was a Dodger legend. I knew he was the voice of broadcaster for the Dodgers. I knew these things, but then digging in and seeing some of the stats and seeing some of the things that I was down here. I was down here not only blown away, but I was almost tearing up at the same time because when you think about the footprint that people leave, um, you don't notice how deep it is while they're still here. And there's a saying that people say is give them their flowers while they can still smell them. And looking at his stats, I'm even getting a little choked up now. Looking at his stats, this man definitely, I hope he was able to smell a little bit of the flowers that 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 people gave to him. I mean, known as El Toro the Bull from Navajoa, Sonora, Mexico, born November 1st, 1960. He died yesterday, October 22nd, 2024. He died in Los Angeles, where he was, I mean, a legend there. I'm talking a 17-year MLB career that spanned different teams between the Dodgers, Angels, Orioles, Phillies, Cardinals, and the Padres. 176 wins, a career 3.54 ERA, uh, two over 2,900 innings pitched, and 2,074 Ks. Um, those stats, I mean, those are all great stats, really good stats from pitcher. But I mean, the next one is one of the things that kind of really blew me away. I'm talking about a Rookie of the Year and Cy Young in 1981, the year they won it, right? Not only that, but the way that he helped that team and to help them and help them win that World Series. He was a major contributor for that World Series team, that 1981 World Series team. I'm talking as a rookie, as a guy who's just brand new to the league and just came in, and they said instant fire from this guy. Just he had a personality, he had a spirit about him that people just loved to be around the guy. People loved playing with the guy. Like he was just known as an awesome teammate. Um, dude, had his own cornflakes box. He was on the box of the cornflakes, and this was before Wheaties was like the thing. But he was on a cornflakes box. Not only that, he was the first Dodger to win a silver slugger for a pitcher. And he's the only one still to do it twice. Two silver sluggers at a pitcher. And this is back when pitchers was able to bat. You know, um the DH back then. So he was able to bat. I mean, just smashed. I mean, I looked at some of his batting numbers. The dude could rake. He was the best hitter. He was the best hitting pitcher during his time. Like the dude raked. Um, he had 20 wins in 1986. And he threw a no hitter in 1990, so he joined that no hitter club. Uh, he his number was actually retired August of 2023. The number 34 was retired by the Dodgers. He served as the Dodgers broadcast from 2003 up until a couple months ago, where he abruptly stopped because of illness. You know, so he kind of stopped and pulled away because of his illness and things like that. Um, the guy was, I mean, I even looking at seeing pictures, he looked like one of those people that you would really enjoy talking to. Like you would have an awesome time just talking, shooting the shit with him, talking sports with him. He just really looked like one of those people that, I mean, he looked like your grandfather that you would talk. Not your grandfather person, but he looks like a grandfather that if you were sitting at somewhere and waiting to go somewhere and had to wait, you would have a conversation with this guy, enjoy every second of it. I mean, he just looked like a gem. They say he was an instant crowd favorite. The moment that he got to the moment he got to LA, he was a big, like a big part of the Latin community, really embracing and loving the Dodgers. Man, if you think about the support of the Dodgers, I mean, it is a Latino thing to support the Dodgers. I mean, especially being in LA, you even see Dodger fans up here. So, and when he came in, it was known as the Fernandam. What is it?
Fernandomonia.
Fernandamonium. That is crazy. That just shows you the love and the spirit that he brought for that team. You know, so we just want to, first of all, we want to thank him. We want to just give him his flowers and his roses, like we said. We want to make sure that young baseball fans like you, uh, mid-age baseball fans like me, and even older baseball fans take the time and opportunity to just really show love to our greats, and just those who came before us and those who were able to do it. So, Fernando Venezuela, for your family, for your friends, we appreciate you, and thank you for what you did for the game and for the sport of baseball that we love and that I bonded with my son over. So, thank you for that.
Thank you.
Now, off of that, to a little bit to a little brighter side, we get to talk about this Yankee Dodgers World Series that we got coming up on Friday.
Yay!
Oh God, I feel like I've been waiting for this moment for my life. No, I'm telling you, 15 years I've been waiting for this. I'm gonna say this, Angel. You saw how wild I went for the Michigan National Championship game. When we win this World Series, I don't know. I don't know. Just because we got off a deep topic, I'm gonna say what I wanted to say about this World Series to the end of the show because I don't want to keep it. So I want to get into the lightness of the Yankee Dodgers World Series. You know, talk about that. So, game one we got Friday, 5:08, California here on the West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be 8:05
Eastern time.
Eastern time. So on the East Coast, 8:05. We got Garrett Cole coming in 1-0 in the playoffs, sporting a 3.31 ERA versus Jack Flaherty, who comes in at 1-2, sporting a 7.04 ERA. Angel, what do you? I don't want to go into overall of what we think is going to happen in the World Series this year. I think we all know who we want to win.
Yeah.
I want to break it down game by game, and we're going to start game one today. How do you feel going to game one? You see the pitchers, you know these lineups. Talk to me.
They're both home run hitting lineups. There is nobody that you could sleep on in this lineup. So it's definitely going to be a rocker. Where is it going to be? Is it going to be home?
LA. So LA has home field advantage. I think it's two LA, two New York, one LA, one New York, one LA if it goes 7 games.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely going to be rocking in the Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm very excited to watch that game.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. So but so who I think that Mookie Betts is gonna do good on the Dodgers side
Okay.
because I know that he has been raking in tough spots. Mookie Betts, where is he batting? He's gonna be. Do they post the lineups? Are these the lineups right here?
So no, I don't. This is not the lineup. This is how it's going because I think Shohei actually leads off. They have Shohei leading off. He's been like the table setter for them. So this isn't the actual lineup. I think Mookie. I mean, but sometime I have seen. So I think they've been moving them back and forth.
Yeah.
Between him and Mookie because there has been games where I saw Mookie like I know against you guys, Mookie was the leadoff batter against the Padres. So
Right.
I mean they're raking, just going over their team leaders for the playoffs. Tommy Edman, who's been raking. Let me tell you, that little dude, that is please don't get it twisted. Please don't think that I'm saying we don't have to worry about Otani or Betts or Freeman if he plays. You know, he's dealing with an injury or Teoscar Hernandez. Or I'm not saying we don't have to deal with him, but I'm saying Tommy Edman is a spark plug. The same way that I said that Lindor was the spark plug for the Mets. Anytime you saw them have a big inning and score a lot of runs, it was Francisco Lindor that started off. Tommy Edman is that for the Los Angeles Dodgers. The dude has been just a firecracker. I'm talking about home runs in big situations, big flies. The dude has been showing power. I mean, he's little. I think he's like 5'10". I think they said you're almost to up to his height, you know. So but yeah, he's leading them in batting average at 341. Mookie Betts leading in home runs with 4. Mookie Betts is also leading with RBIs, leading the Dodgers in RBIs with 12. Max Muncy with OBP is 468, and then hits is Tommy Edman with 15. Their lineup is stacked from top to bottom. Um, I mean, like I said, you got to worry about Otani from the left side. You got to worry about Freeman from the left side. You got to worry about Mookie Betts. You got to worry about Edman. You got Mercy. You got Teoscar Hernandez. So this is definitely not. They do just as well as us with not chasing bad pitches. So this is a game that's going to be hit to contact and let your defense kind of work around you. I feel like Garrett Cole, key of this game and this lineup, that that letter high fastball coupled with a nice slider and then that curve. If he keeps that going good and he's putting it in the zone, um, they don't get a lot of swing and misses. If he can get some swing and misses, good. But let's let our defense pick us up behind us. These guys can hit the ball. Let's keep the big flies down. Um, and I think that'll be some of the best things that we can do to go from there. Anything else you want to talk about with this lineup? Any names that anything that stands out? I mean, anything that really jumps out to you about this lineup?
Um, Chris Taylor,
Mm-hmm.
that guy. Where is Chris Taylor? Chris Terrell, right here. Cause I know he did pretty good. In the Padres Dodgers series.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, looks three
yeah,
hits also. 3 hits so far through the playoffs.
but
3 total bases, 5 strikeouts. So he probably had a cool series against you guys.
yeah.
Um,
But there's nobody else. But I want to get to that Yankee
I do
lineup.
too. I do too. So look, like before we jump ship, I also want to get into the pitching for the Dodgers. I really feel like the Dodgers they're going to go. I was a little surprised that they went Flaherty, Jack Flaherty for this game for game one. I thought they were going to go Yamamoto, which makes me believe they're going to go Yamamoto for game two and then game three. I I don't think they trust Walker Bueller, especially against a team like us. We don't chase. We don't have a lot of swing and miss. We and we bash. I don't think they got a lot of trust in Walker Bueller, so I'm not sure if they don't go a bullpen game for game three and just have a guy ready almost every 2 or 3, innings or something like that. But I heard Dog talking about it on the radio today. He said game three, not game three, game five is going to be probably the biggest momentum swing because he feels that the series is going to be 2-2 going into game five. I don't know if I feel like it's going to be that. I feel like some people are going to be shocked. But I think that, I mean, if we break it down, I definitely feel like the Yankees have the better starting pitching. And I feel like the bullpen is a push. I think each of them both have really good bullpens that can really settle down hot offenses, and we've seen this throughout the playoffs that both of their bullpen come in and is able to hold the lead or able to keep the game close until they can come and take a lead or score some runs and things like that. So I think both of those teams are able to do that and kind of push that on that note. When it comes to batting, that's another push. Each one of these lineups is potent. I mean, we saw what the Dodgers can do. I mean, I think they've scored more runs in the AL and the NLCS than any other team. I think they put up over 45 runs. That's crazy.
Wow.
That's absolutely crazy. In the 5 games. That was a 5 game series. It was a 4 game. No, it was in the 7 game series, but they still put up over 45. That's crazy
That
in
is
the playoff. And you think that the playoffs is when pitching is really supposed to like defense and everything is supposed to step up and numbers are supposed to go down offensively. They were still raking, dude, and it's scary.
it's scary.
Um,
The Dodgers definitely have a good bullpen.
Moving over to the Yankees, postseason stats, 2024 postseason stats. Um, Now, once I read these off, I'm going to tell you why it makes me really happy the way that these numbers run off, right? Batting average, Juan Soto, 333. Home runs, Stanton with 5. RBI, Stanton with 11. OBP, Anthony Volpe, 459. And hits, Gleyber Torres with 11. Now, the reason why a couple of reasons why all this stands out to me. One, Gleyber Torres, top of our lineup, leading us in hits so far in the playoffs. This man has been on base in the first inning 8 times. That is
Wow.
that's table setting right there. When you're able to get men on base, you're able to get pitch counts up. I mean, he's walked, he's got singles, he's gotten doubles. The guy has been on base. Now, he runs bases like a toddler that's been drinking beer. I can admit that. You know what I'm saying? I can keep it real. But the guy's just been getting on base. Him and Soto. Soto has been on base just as much in the first inning as he has. And my biggest point here, Judge has not been Aaron Judge. Aaron loves to perform against the Dodgers. He loves putting up numbers against the Dodgers. The dude rakes. His numbers against the Dodgers in the last couple of years have been astronomical. Over 300, multiple home runs, multiple extra base hits. Um, the guy has just been raking against them. So
Yeah,
I'm
but he's
excited
also
about that.
never been in a post. He's also never performed good in the postseason,
True.
and he's never been in a World Series. So we don't know how anybody's gonna perform.
But he's cracking the ice though. He started to heat up. He started to heat up at the end of the Cleveland series, and I think there was a lot of pressure with him getting to the World Series. I think the pressure is off now. You're here. You're at the show. It's only one thing to do, winning. And I think it was a lot of pressure for him to get to the World Series, being a Yankee captain, that legacy, to have that captain C on your chest. He doesn't wear the C, but he's the captain.
Yeah.
Um, that it's a lot of pressure. So I feel like he's totally cracking that pressure. And now he's in the World Series. So it's the fight to get to the car. And now he's in the driver's seat. So I totally see Aaron Judge raking. I see a lot of first inning runs if the table is set up with Gleyber Torres and Juan Soto getting on. Juan Soto lots of walks, and it's because you're scared. You gotta pitch Juan Soto straight up because you got Judge in back of him. And now
Judge is amazing.
and now you got to pitch Judge straight up because Stanton is back. Let me tell you, you talking 1 through 4. I put my 1 through 4 against anybody in baseball. Glaber, Soto, Judge, Stanton. I put that 1 through 4 versus anybody in baseball. That 1 through 4 can hit grand slams every time they're up. It can be 4 runs on the board before you know it. And I really feel like that's one of the things. I feel like we're going to have the Dodgers playing from behind in both of these games in LA. Don't be surprised, Angel, if we take both of these games and we go back home to New York up 2-0.
You know, I won't be surprised because the Yankees are an amazing team. They're just full of hitters.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even have to hit the Gleyber Torres. He doesn't hit a whole lot of home runs, but he knows how to get on base. Like you're saying, he doesn't know how to run the bases, but he definitely can.
Gets on.
He definitely can get on. Giancarlo Stanton has been raking.
Dude.
Oh my god!
It's almost like you don't want to pitch to him, like, and it's funny because you got Soto and then you got Judge in front of him, and then I mean, look, home runs and RBIs. It's Stanton.
Because I never thought he was gonna be this. When the Yankees came in, I thought it was gonna be Volpe and Aaron Judge performing. But Aaron Judge hasn't really done that well in the postseason or any postseason that he's been in. But it's been Giancarlo Stanton this postseason. You've seen his neck. Isn't it his jersey? Most of them are like they're being sold a lot. They're being sold a lot for the postseason because he's just been raking.
I want to look at something. So we're going into hits into the postseason, right? You got Glaber with 11, Stanton with 10, Soto with 11, Judge only had 5, but then you got Verdugo with 6. You got 9 from Volpe, 6 from Rizzo, 2 from Birdie. I mean, we got guys, 5 from Jazz. We got guys that, I mean, I feel like we're primed at the right time. And I always tell you, baseball playoffs is not about who has the best record. It's about who's hot at the right time.
With the perfect time.
At the perfect time. So I definitely 100% see the Yankees being hot at the right time. I'm not saying it's going to be an easy series, and I'm not saying we're going to sweep them, but I think the series is going to be a little bit shorter than what people think it's going to be.
Yeah.
And I mean, everybody's hate for the Dodgers. I think it's all good. I think you know what, Angel. I think that's a great show, man. I think let's give before we end it off with some. Let's give our score predictions for Yankees versus Dodgers game 1. Go.
Yankees versus Dodgers game 1, I would say 5-1. 5-1 Yankees.
5-1 Yankees. I love it. I love it. I'm going to say 5-2 Yankees. And it's going to be something late innings, and it's going to come from Judge. I'm not saying it's going to be a 3-run homer. I'm not saying it's going to be, I don't know what it's going to be, but I feel like Judge is going to make the stamp in game 1 and give us a lot of momentum going into game 2.
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited.
Oh my god.
I can't wait. Game 2, we will be heading out to the homie Esteban house. We'll be going over there.
We're coming for you.
We're coming, Esteban. Shout out to Esteban. Esteban has been giving me crap. He gives me crap all year, but Esteban has been giving me especially blue crap since the Dodgers have gotten to the World Series. Listen, let me tell y'all, I was gonna have a blast this World Series, but to know that my buddy, his team is in it as well, I cannot wait to be over there. Shout out to Esteban Guzman.
We love you, S.
We love you, S. We get to go over to his parents' house. We love your parents, S. We love them. We love the kids.
Everybody.
We love everybody. We can't wait to see. So game 2, we'll be over at S house. We'll be doing a recap on game. We'll be doing a recap on game 1 and 2 on Sunday, and then we'll give a preview of games 3 and games 4. Um, if you guys got any questions, any concerns, listen, I want y'all to like, follow, subscribe to the page if you're not already, subscribe to it. And I want you to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend about this. And then if you got any questions you want to add to the show, please email us at fnssportspodcast@gmail.com. Or you can holler at us here on our YouTube page at FNS Sports Podcast on YouTube, and we'll be here to answer any questions for you. We'll be up on Apple Music soon. We'll be up on Spotify soon, and a couple other platforms. We got some stuff in the work for y'all. Nice. We got new lighting coming in. Yeah, we gonna grow, man. So I had a really fun time tonight. I'm glad we got a chance to kick it and get back. Yeah. You got anything you wanna say before we head out?
I'm just very excited. This whole week is just gonna be. This whole next week is gonna be amazing. We got Halloween coming up. We gotta do a Halloween episode.
You know what? I think we should do a Halloween episode, even if it's just a quick check-in. I think we got the best Halloween costumes on earth. We won't let y'all know that yet. We're not gonna let y'all know. But I think we got the best Halloween costume combo on earth, my guy.
Yeah, and the day that we do the Halloween episode, I have to have candy.
Oh yeah.
I need candy, like a bowl, a white bowl, just sitting there filled with candy corn and mints.
We could do that. I think that's awesome. I think we'll
Candy
do
corn
that.
and mints. That's
Oh
all
my
I need.
God. Ew, not can't. What are you, a 90-year-old woman? Jesus Christ. Well, check this out, God. This is all for the show tonight. I had a blast. I'm your co-host, Chef Yaku.
And I'm your other co-host, Angel, and I had an amazing time with y'all too.
I want to listen, man. I love doing this with you, pops. To many more. I love you. Stay up, and we out of here.
Yeah. Peace. Yeah. Like, subscribe, y'all. Okay.